Having recently hopped off of Trails of Cold Steel 3, I've been put into a bit of a bizarre position. Prior to this, I had absolutely zero desire to experience the rest of the Kiseki franchise, but after playing through Trails of Cold Steel 3 through to completion, I've been instilled with a bit of a burning desire to break out my PSP, download some fan patches, and to play through the whole of the Kiseki franchise, from Trails of the Sky to Ao no Kiseki. A large part of this has to do with the variety of additional characters that Trails of Cold Steel 3 employs. This is no surprise for anyone who has watched more than just the demo and the intro cutscene, with characters like Arianrod, Campanella, Randolph, Tita, and even Tio being featured prominently in separate titles. Ouroboros itself as an organisation has been plaguing Zemuria ever since the first Legend of Heroes game, with Arianrod and Campanella in particular being extremely well presented across the series' vast history. That, and the fact that Best Boy Randolph, or Randy as he's better known, featured as one of the main protagonists in Ao no Kiseki and Zero no Kiseki. Trails of Cold Steel 3 does a fantastic job of telling you about the exploits and adventures that these characters have previously gone on. And whilst I've never played any other Kiseki game outside of Trails of Cold Steel 1, 2 and 3, instead of sitting there scratching my head in utter confusion, I was instead filled with a single thought. That thought being, oh damn, these badass characters featured in badass games and did badass things against badass villains. That's absolutely badass! It's the same feeling that watching a series and knowing there's a prequel or spin-off with a god-tier enjoyability rated character that already exists is there. Think a 10-year-old finding out that his favourite Star Wars character, Han Solo, has his own prequel film. Holy Mary, he'd be hyped as anything. It's the same feeling that I get with Trails of Cold Steel 3 and the rest of the Kiseki series. These characters have done so much growing in their own games, have such interesting backgrounds and relationships, that I just want to go and see where they originated from, pick them apart and to see the seeds that were sown for Cold Steel, and to understand how the Sen no Kiseki, or Cold Steel games, affected them, their friends and their personalities, and how the tragedy and turmoil inside of Erebonia really shaped them as people. Speaking of Erebonia, the amount of detail in the continent, and by extension Liberal, Crossbell and Calvard, makes me want to explore the reaches outside of the Erebonian Empire and to see the variety of locales, civilizations, history and themes. Kinda like the Elder Scrolls. Exploring Morrowind led me to wanting to explore the Aedra and Daedra, Cyrodiil and the Imperials, Skyrim and the Dragonborn heritage and the future of the Empire. Trails of Cold Steel has filled me with the same curiosity by not just restricting itself or its cast to Erebonia and Erebonians. As I said in my review of Trails of Cold Steel 3, variety is really the spice of life in the game. So, where do I go from here? Do I wait for Cold Steel 4? Do I dive into Randolph's story with Ao no Kiseki and Zero no Kiseki? Do I experience the start of the franchise with Trails in the Sky? Well, according to the official timeline, Trails of the Sky FC, SC, and the Third are up first in the timeline, followed by Zero no Kiseki and then Ao no Kiseki, before playing Trails of Cold Steel 4. Thankfully, Trails in the Sky FC, SC, and the Third are all available on Steam with English voice acting and patches, but Zero no Kiseki and Ao no Kiseki are a bit more difficult. Unfortunately, these two games have never received an official English translation or release, meaning that in order to legally experience these games, I'd need to either wait for a release, buy the Japanese versions of the games, soft mod my PSP, install fan translations, which are of questionable quality according to the community, and then just play through them in my native language. Or I could always learn Japanese to a professional business level and understand the games that way. But like that would ever happen, because I barely even remember my French classes I took back when I was 13 years old. Yeah, it's not looking too bright for me. So, as it stands, I have 3 more games to go through, 2 lengthy YouTube tutorials to fan patch and soft mod my PSP to play the other 2, and then that's all got to be done before Trails of Cold Steel 4 releases in English, as that is the sort of capstone of the timeline for now. Oh well, never say never. Nothing's truly impossible, I think. Oh god, my free time is going to be obliterated. Please, send help.